Check, check. Check, check. Check, check, check. This is Nico from Nico, and I apologies for the bunch of checks. Right now, we are outside of the St. Paul City Hall and Courthouse, County of Ramsey, and we have just heard the verdict.
How you doing?
All right. We just heard the verdict that Geronimo Yanez, the killer of Philando Castile, has been found not guilty. He's been found not guilty on manslaughter charges and reckless endangering charges. We're right now outside of the Ramsey County Courthouse. We have some folks that are here. You still want to talk? Stay down. All right, sweet. We are here joined by Shay, and this is Shay. And I'm going to hand the mic off to Shay, and we're going to ask her some questions. So, Yanez just got indicted, and then he got basically not charged. The verdict was not guilty. How are you feeling right now?
I'm sorry, words can even explain how I'm feeling right now. I feel like I don't even know where to start. I'm sorry. They gave us a hope that he would be indicted, that he would be serving jail time. We keep falling for symbolism. They say something's gonna happen. We get our hopes up. We all knew deep down that he wasn't gonna get charged. So right now I'm filled with rage. I'm upset. I'm emotional, and words can't even explain how I'm feeling right now.
What were you expecting? I mean, is this what you were expecting?
No, I wasn't expecting not guilty on all 3 charges, no. Maybe it was something that I was expecting, but it was something that I wasn't hoping for.
What do you hope now happens?
Right now, what else can we do? I feel like we've tried everything. I just want justice, that's all. I want nobody to forget Philando Castile. It was on Facebook Live. On Facebook Live. A billion people shared it, tweeted it, everything, and he still didn't get charged. I don't know what happened inside the courtroom, but I'm just not understanding how it can lead to not guilty for all 3 charges. Right now, we just need to all come together, and we need to figure something out, because it's not okay. I don't want other police officers or anybody thinking it's okay to put a man down and expect no jail time, get to walk free. It was murder. And just to know that we're living in a society where somebody can get murdered on camera, it's pretty messed up, and not get charged at all. Somebody with that high authority and still not get charged, it's not right.
Anything else you want to say about it? You said that you want justice. What does that look like for you?
Honestly, I know deep down in my heart there's never going to be justice for anybody. For my people, there's never going to be justice. This has been happening for years, before my mom was born, grandma. We're never going to get justice. All we can do is hope. All we can do is come together. Stop fighting each other. We need to stop everything and just come together. That's all. I can just hope for the best, pray for the best.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, appreciate it. So you have it. Give it a little mic check. Mic check. Gonna deal with a little audio difficulty.
When they start shifting, when it happens, Norman's and all the police officers out here with the party, and I knew right there what was going on, and it did so quick. This is what
Check, check. check. Sorry everybody about these technical difficulties. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We are here at the Ramsey County Courthouse in downtown St. Paul, and you have been privy to the verdict if you haven't. What's happened is there's been a not guilty verdict. Not guilty verdict in Philando Castile's case. Okay. You want to tag it off? Hey. Yeah, you all want to talk about it? So the mic isn't working, but
okay.
We are joined right now by a community member. You can announce your name. You can talk about what's happening, what Philando Castile means to you, what this not guilty verdict means to you.
It's very upsetting, honestly, to have to come down here with your kids. We were on our way to something else and we heard the verdict. My son has been a victim of police brutality, as some of you guys know, but never to the extent of what Philando had to experience. And my opinion of this is it's unfucking believable, unacceptable, and very sickening. And the point we need to take is just stop killing black people. Stop killing them. People are unarmed often, they are not doing anything wrong, and he had no reason to die like that. And my heart just aches for his mother. Just ridiculous.
So you were part of the community that came out and sort of protest against the killing last July.
Yes.
Can you talk about maybe the movement that was built from that, what that meant to the community?
Well, it was an uprising, basically, and when we protested on 94, you know, you guys were down there. My son was maced during the process. I mean, we're all pushed around by police. But basically, we were willing to risk our lives to fight for what Philando and this statement is, that Black Lives Matter, and the police brutality has just overtaken, and not enough people are being held accountable for these actions. And I think that movement was very powerful, like just even in the week after Philando died. You know, he was murdered. I can't stop thinking about our kids that are forgotten and their voices are not heard. The families that are mistreated and there's no justice. There is no words in the world that probably can explain what she's experiencing right now, but she had every right to be happy, sad, mad, and explain her emotions about it, and we just need to respect and support her. But I also respect and support people who want to do otherwise, who feel otherwise, who are using other forms to, you know, deal with their pain and take action on this matter.
Yeah. And so tonight there's a call out, I believe, for like people to gather at 7 o'clock at the Capitol. What do you feel about that? Do you think that the community can find, what do you think the community can find in doing that?
Well, to be honest with you, I may not even be the right person to ask that. I think our black brothers and sisters, you know, deserve to answer that more, but I also feel like it could be a split thing. You know, like a lot of people come out, you know, they have different emotions, they're upset, they're in shock, they're in pain, they don't know how to deal with stuff. So it's good to be around other people. And then there could be other people who don't want to come out. They're scared, they're worried, they're frustrated, they're confused, they're upset, you know. And then you might have the in-between people who just want to outraged, you know. And I respect that. I respect every form of it, because I can't take away what you feel. I can't take away what you experience. I didn't live through that. But I've seen what other people have lived through in our community. And they have no right. I mean, nobody deserves that at all. Point blank period. Nobody ever deserves that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that. Is there anything else you want to say in regards to Philando, Geronimo Yanez, police in general?
I know a lot of people are saying that we shouldn't expect. We should have expected this because we're used to that. But I think sometimes people still want justice. They still want that guilty verdict, right? And they deserve that, you know? So it is really hard to hold on to hope. And I don't feel bad for the officer at all, or anybody that's in these situations. I really don't, because the trickle effect that he had was so many people, and what Diamond went through, and now what Valerie's has been dealing with, the mother, and you know, the baby in the back seat. I just can't stop thinking about her, and there's too many of the babies.
And so the baby, had a 16 inches away from the baby, the 40-year-old Diana, was a bullet shot by Yanez. That bullet was found to be, he was found to be not guilty in reckless firing of that bullet. Of his 11 bullets that he shot, I believe.
Well, at least 7.
Yeah, so at least 7. And so, how do you feel about that? So there's a daughter in the back seat, Diamonde's daughter, almost gets shot, and it's not like it's fine.
Well, I'm a mother, and that's scary. Nobody should have to worry about what's going on with their kids in the back seat, in schools, in the community, whatever. What that mom had to take out her phone and film that because of her worry and pain for her daughter and Philando. Nobody should have to deal with that. And it's just really hard to describe that, you know? Because you never know when your child is going to be the next victim or the next witness to the police brutality. It's, yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. See you there. I never met you.
I'm Jasmine. I got her.
Yeah, I bet.
So are we still on for 7?
Yeah. So, hey, here's Mel Reeves. What happened today?
An injustice. I want to say in a nutshell, it's my quote. The verdict added insult to injury. They already killed Philando, and now they kind of stomped on us with it. It was like, nah. We killed your guy. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? You know, so what? He's dead. It's just another Negro gone, you know? He could have been a robber as far as they know. I mean, there's the system telling us what time it is. That's why, I fight to change it. You know, we can't, like the old people say, you can't get water from turnip, right? You can't get justice from an unjust system. You can't get it. Now, I would have been surprised, to be honest with you, I would have been surprised at a just verdict. But people who've been raised on, U.S. propaganda flakes, that's what they've been chewing on all their lives. We have two things working against us. One, they want to believe that the police are who they say they are. Two, that, most of them have their doubts about the efficacy of people of color. Black person on trial. Right away, we're kind of behind. You know what I'm saying? We got two things against us. Well, was he a human being? Are we going to judge this as if they killed a human being? So then you got to convince them a human being got killed. Then you got to convince them that the police aren't who they say they are. That it's an institution that serves to control us and reinforce all the stereotypes, right? So you got to convince them of that. But they were already convinced. Now you have people, right, who are absolutely sure about the well intentions of the police, and they're not going to change their mind. So no evidence in the world is going to make them believe that the nice guy Yanez, who by the way is Hispanic, but we saw the old saying was, if you're brown you can stick around. If you're black, get back. So the brown man, got the benefit of the doubt. It's just disappointing, brother. It's disappointing that they can't ever do it right. But the system was stacked. When they brought those jurors, when they selected those jurors, we knew we were in trouble. Remember the one woman who lied? Talking about she didn't tell people that she was friends with the officer's wife who died. She lied. She lied about her Facebook post. The prosecution showed her Facebook post. What were they? Pro-police, support your local police. She dared, on one of them, she dared people to repost it. Repost this picture saying, support you. She said, I dare you to repost it. In other words, right, they said another one about why you should support. So she was clearly biased from the beginning, right? She was friends with the cop, his wife who got killed, and she still makes a jury. And then the pro-gun guys, then the other lady who says, well, I believe the police are usually right. How you going to be in the jury? Especially since they took off the jury the people who said, well, I have my doubts about what the police do. They didn't make the jury. So, the thing is slanted. The judge slanted it from the beginning, and he would get out here and argue me until he ran out of breath that he's a fair and impartial guy. And he'd just be a liar that's unconscious. He'd just be an unconscious liar. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably piss him off if he came out here right now. Say, dude, you oversaw something that was partial. Oh, no, sir. We had this. Man, you were partial. And he can't admit it. Of course, he's partial to the system. There's no such thing as neutrality. When you know what I mean? The system has an axe to grind. They're not neutral. They're not objective. They're subjective. So this is a show. They put this show on for the people like those jurors to believe that, oh, well, you know, there was a trial. You know, they gave every opportunity to show he did wrong. This is a propaganda. It was a show trial. That's all it was. It's a show trial.
So you spent time in the courtroom. Is that true? Mm-hmm. So within that time, basically, from what I understand real quick, is that the defense of Yanez pitted, he was scared, that Philando had a gun, Philando might use it, and that because he was smoking weed,
Yes.
he had a slowed reaction,
right.
And also Yanez has an implicit bias towards black folks. Right. So do you think that all those three things were not even looked at by the jurors, or what do you think happened there?
You know, this speculation is a bad thing, because I don't know. It might have been just one person who might be beating up on more folks that necessarily shouldn't be beat up on. But I clearly think it was definitely one person, obviously. To hell it up. We won't know until later on. It might come out. There were 2 or 3. So they weren't looking at the evidence. Somebody noted to me, I wasn't paying attention to. Most of them didn't even take good notes. They didn't really take notes. A lot of them didn't take notes. What does that tell you? That, you know, their mind was pretty much made up. And when Yanez got on the stand, which is a smart move on the defense's part, Yanez was kind of believable. Except the problem was that the prosecution showed that he kept telling different stories, that he was lying. But then he cried, said some crocodile tears, and you know. And I think that won some people over. Was like, well, he didn't really mean to do this, but somebody has to pay. If I make a mistake and somebody loses their life, I should pay for it. You know, and not that. You know, it wasn't like, you know, they were saying that the poor guy did it on purpose. You know, maybe he didn't intend to, but he did do it. And so they should have held him accountable. That's what the society's about. That's how you keep society together, by having some kind of accountability. There's no accountability, then you live in an uncivil society. And Sister Valerie Castile said it very well. She said, instead of evolving, she said, we live in a society that's devolving. You couldn't say it no better than she did. You know, she said it right. I couldn't say it no better than she. She called it out. She said, this is crap. She said, this is going to affect all of us. What she said, I don't know if you got her, you were able to record her interview. Find it and play it. It's a great interview. For her to be going through what she did and to be able to come out and be as lucid and clear, whoa, my hat is off to Sister Castile. That was quite the job. And she lost her kid, and she was able to hold it together and let people know that, you know, she wasn't feeling it, and pretty much cussed the system out in a nice way and called it out. Wow, what a brave woman.
What do you hope happens now? What's the moves for the community?
Well, brother, you know what we're going to do. You know I'm going to do what I've been doing. You know, we're going to keep fighting, keep trying to help people understand that, you know, I got a lot of young people running around talking about they woke. I'm going to write about this. Woke means, see, not only that you're aware of racism and sexism and homophobia, that you're aware that this system encourages that kind of thing, right, and keeps it going. See, there's a lot of folks running around talking about they're woke, and the best political politics they can present is one of liberal politics, right? They you know, they support the Democrats over the Republicans, right? They, you know, they want policy change. This whole thing has to, if you're gonna be woke, means that for all practical purposes, you're a revolutionary. You know that this system doesn't work, and that the only way we're going to live as human beings in this society is by having a system that recognizes our needs, helps fulfill our needs, right? Kind of, you know, to borrow from the Marxists, that would give to those according to their needs, right? And take based on what you needed as well. I just messed that up. But you know, I'm thinking, I can't think of it now, that quote. But anyway, that's what has to happen. And we've got to stop kidding ourselves about what this thing is, what the system is. And we got to realize that talking about it on Facebook ain't fighting. Talking about it on Facebook ain't doing. Talking about it on Facebook ain't organizing. You see what I'm saying? Complaining ain't organizing. You got to get your feet in the street and organize. You got to pick up the books. You got to Google. You got to understand what the hell capitalism is, right? You got to understand the role and history of the police department. So you stop getting pulled into these meetings where they say, come on, we're going to have a conversation about how we can have a relationship. You can't have a relationship with people who are killing and brutalizing you, who arrest you at a blink of an eye. How you going to have a relationship with them? That's just a fool to start. You know, I stay away from those meetings. People always try to pull me in. Last time I went to one, I blew it up. Right? Because this is foolish. Last time I went to one, they didn't even have the decency to come to the meeting without their pistols. I go, hold on. So we're supposed to have a little, you know, conversation here. Just us. We cool. We're gonna have a conversation. But you brought your pistols in here. We don't even have an equal relationship right now. And then the one black guy, of course, you know, he's got up and really, man, I carried it. Okay, brother. That's who you are. I respect that. But don't come in here and try to pretend like you're something else. Be who you are. If you're one of them headbangers, okay, cool. That's how I'm gonna treat you. Don't brother me either. Don't come and try to shake my hand, because we're not brothers. You chose a side. We gotta stop that. You got that blue on, I can work with you, and I'm sure you might be a decent human being. You gotta take that blue off if you're gonna call yourself my brother. Hey, I didn't make up the rules. You know, the people with the blue, those are the people that we hear about. I didn't make that up. For that dude, Yanez, wore the blue. See what I'm saying? He killed somebody. I ain't making this up. I ain't mad at you. These are the rules. You all laid them out. So if you're gonna be on that side, be on that side. You know what I'm saying? That's how I roll, brother. I draw straight lines.
And that
that's
side,
what I do.
And thank you for that. And that side that you're talking about, the blue side, has never had a conviction on a murder in Minnesota ever from the police officer.
No. This is the first time they even tried to prosecute somebody. So that was historic. But you know, who cares if they tried, they failed? I mean, nobody cares about, you know, second place, and you know, so it almost doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't count. You know, in fact, this turns into a show. So now, you know, we can say, oh, we did the right thing. You know, we gave you a trial. You know, so what are you complaining about now? Go somewhere and sit down.
And I saw you talking to some of the other media around that issue, as we see a lot of sheriff's deputies walking around. Basically, this sort of a game in a way, or this show, has been accentuated further and further by mainstream media, also by...
Hang on, let's see what's going on over there.
Okay. There's just a few folks walking around.
Oh, I heard somebody scream. Hey, how are you?
Looking around.
So the funny thing about today's verdict too is some of the more astute news people are avoiding me, because they don't want to hear me talk that shit. They don't want to hear me talk about the system doesn't work and that I ain't surprised by it. They don't want that soundbite. So it's kind of funny. So some of them going to avoid me today, and I'm okay with that, because I really didn't want to interview. That's why I said to you I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, and Demetrius, because I really didn't want to talk to them today. I let Brandy interview me, and I really didn't say all I wanted to say, because you know, the problem is they're going to try to, you know, craft you into what they, you know. So I answered the question. No, you know, from what we saw, yes, there was enough to prosecute. You know, then she tried to catch me saying that the prosecution's heart wasn't in it. Of course their heart wasn't in it, but I didn't want to go public and say that. You know, they did an adequate job, but of course they daggum heart in it. They used to slam dunk at people look like me. They're not used to prosecuting their own. You know that. Dude got to understand. He just went on and on and on. Me and you would have been understand. He just said, hey, sir, answer the question, yes or no. He kept letting dudes say, well, I was under stress, I was this, you know, my mama hadn't come home. I mean, he just gave all these excuses. They didn't even stop him. They just let him go on and on, as if the jury was sophisticated enough to realize that he's just making excuses, you know. So I think I think one of the mistakes they may have made was they gave the jury too much credit. You know what I'm saying? They gave the jury a little too much credit. Good for these kids. I know that's right, sister.
This is what being black in America gets you, period.
I know that's right. They did their own protest. And that was, you know, people are so nervous about us saying the wrong thing. We should have organized something here. Actually, we really should have. To be told, we should have. These kids are right. Well, look at these kids. Get these kids on film. They're right. This is what I would be doing. Y'all right, sister. Thank you for doing that. Yes. You know. Yeah, I know. So they're right. The rest of us standing around with our hands in our pocket. You know, shame on us. They're right. That's what should have happened right out here. We should have come here with signs and whatever. We were trying to respect everybody's nervousness about, but that's what should happen. We should be out here saying what we think about that verdict. But tonight, we're going to do it at the Capitol. So, you know, hopefully people come down, and the press is already trying to violence bait us. You saw what I did. Guys, well, how do you think the community, I said, how do you think the community is going to respond? I said, so we're not going to do that today. I said, we're here because the system has been perpetrating violence. The system was violent. Don't try to make it look like we're the problem when they just killed one of us. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in and talk about whether the community violent. The system has been violent. That's what's on the table right now. You know, the people who are on defensive right now is the system. You know, they're the ones that are violent. You know, we're trying to be human beings. You know. You step on my toe, I got a right to say ouch. I got a right to say get off my foot. You know what I'm saying? Whatever people do, they have a right to respond when they get done in over and over again. So if people do get out of hand, it makes sense. Hell, you know what I'm saying? Get tired of this crap. You know, I just want to see us get organized. If we get organized, understand what we're up against. They can't do nothing to us. You know that? If enough of us trying to get organized, they ain't got enough guns to hold us back. If we really get organized and get the knowledge and understand what we need to do as a society, it's all over with, and they know it. That's why they spend so much time on the propaganda, by the way. That's why they spend so much time on this kind of, because they rule us, not really with the pistol, but with our minds. You see, with the propaganda, they indoctrinate you when you go to school, convince you that, you know, it's all good. You realize when you get out of school, you have to re-educate yourself? You know, all school's good for is teaching you how to read and write, right, and do some math. Everything else you can throw out. I'm serious. Because most of it is crap. That's why we think that if we write about something, it's the same as doing it. Because they kind of teach you that at school. If you feel bad about something, it's the same as having done something. They indoctrinate you to not do anything. Think about it. Yeah. So anyway, brother, I'm just rambling on now.
Well, anything else you want to say? I know we'll catch up with you probably later tonight as well.
Yeah, that's it. I'm good, brother.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Make sure you get Valerie's interview.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Anybody want to say anything over here? Alright, so you heard from Mel Reeves and a couple other people. We're going to talk to some other folks around here. Again, the verdict is not guilty on all charges. All charges against Geronimo Yanez, the police officer who murdered Philando Castile. We saw a little protest walk by.
My battery would probably die. Because the thousands of people in this phone that know this man was murdered. Murdered. And all you gotta say is, I was scared. Police can pull you over for speeding, and they're already scared.
A friend of Philando.
I can get shot 7 times, and all you gotta do is come in this courtroom and say, oh, I smell burnt marijuana, so he was high. And he moved a little bit, so I shot him 7 times. What deer was you aiming at to shoot 7 times in that car? I don't have hate in my heart, man. I don't have hate in my heart at all. But I tell you this system is full of shit. Full of shit. I don't care if you edit it, I don't care if you play it, it's full of shit. They played us today in this courtroom. They played us today. Thank you, Earl Grey, Tom Kelly, whatever your name is, man. Earl Grey and Tom Kelly going to smoke weed right now, together. Listen. And celebrate. They probably smoking with Yanez. Celebrate. Everybody want me to be quiet, I'll be quiet. You don't hear me from me no more. I'll be quiet. But I'm gonna be louder than you ever heard me speak before, because I'm gonna go in overdrive, organize and put feet on the ground, remove some of these racist people out of these buildings. State capitol, I'm gonna remove some of these racist people out of the state capitol, some of these racist city councilmen. That's what we're gonna work on next. Some of these racist legislative agendas they have, we're gonna move, put feet on the ground. See, y'all wanna start organizing against us, we're gonna start organizing ahead of time against y'all. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of seeing black mothers crying while y'all sitting back laughing like it's a joke. This ain't no joke. These are real black men. Y'all taking our mayors from us. Y'all taking our pastors from us. Y'all taking our future presidents from us. Doctors, musicians. Y'all taking them from us. They don't even get to reach their potential. And this woman didn't even get a chance to see her grandson. Her son couldn't even produce a grandson for her. And we supposed to sit back like, oh, it's okay, take it. We've been taking it since Emmett Till. Listen. We've been taking it. We sick of getting sodomized here with no grease. I don't have nothing else to say, man.
Thank you, Brother John. Thank you, Brother John.
Yeah, you heard it was John Thompson, Philando Castile's friend. A lot of Philando Castile's families out here. Really, really hard moments going on. You see it right there. So it's about hard. That's what it is right now. Dealing with the death from state violence, state terrorism, a lot of people call it, police terror. And this is family members and friends of Philando. give them their space. I want you all to see that, witness that. It's real. That's how it is. People out here. What's up, everybody? Would you all be down to talk about what's happening right now?
I will.
Okay, word.
Y'all crazy, I will. I don't know what you want me to say, but...
Yeah, so you came down here with some signs.
Yeah.
I saw you walk over that bridge.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Man, the police and what they doing and how they steadily getting away with killing black men on camera and not being responsible for what they doing. I hope I don't cry, man. I got sons. That's why I'm down here. I got sons. And I seen my grandma and everybody else back in the day fight for this, and it ain't getting nowhere. And we a new generation. We need to be outside standing for what's right, because they wrong and they know that. They wrong. They did it to Mike Brown. They did it to Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Chad, come on, Jamar Clark. Come on, come on now. How many times are they gonna keep getting away with this and ain't nobody saying nothing and sleeping under the rug? Okay, Black Lives Matter. Everybody life matter, but this ain't happening to everybody. It's happening to us, not them, us. We the one that gotta be affected by this, not nobody else. I'm gonna start crying. I don't wanna cry. I'm real emotional about this. This is some bull crap. This is not right. We should not have to be scared to get in our cars and drive to the store without getting pulled over by the police. We should not have to go live on camera to make sure that we don't get killed by the police. I mean, our black men, we losing our black men, and good black men, not just thugs. We losing our black men to the police, and we've been doing it since Rodney King. What you mean he got beat on camera and the police took off on camera? It's not gonna stop until all of us come outside, join, and put the bull crap down, that gang banging stuff, all that. It's time to put that dead. We need to be outside and really stand up for who really is our enemy, and it's the police. Period. It's the police. Period. Everybody needs to be outside, and you don't gotta get the knocking out windows and beating on the police cars. You don't gotta do. It don't take all that. Us coming together, that's gonna scare them. That's what's gonna shake something. When all the black people put the bull crap aside, come together, and stand up for what's right. That's what's gonna scare them. That's what's gonna shake them. Is seeing all of us standing together, not arguing, not fighting, not making ourselves look stupid on social media, standing together. That's what it's all about, standing together, coming together and fighting what we need to be fighting for. Thank you, baby. That brings tears to my eyes. For real. Come on now, like a baby though. Come on now.
Come together in numbers.
We strong. When we come together in numbers, we strong, and that's what they don't understand. When they see all of us together, that's what scared them. That's what get them shook. Like, oh, okay. Oh, they not gang banging, and they ain't fighting, and they ain't doing all this. They coming together and standing for what's right. That's what scared them, and that's what everybody don't. Us, my generation, because it's my generation. That's what they don't understand. They think that picking fighting over a street that ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't own that street. Let's focus on what's important. Don't nobody want to keep being on a poster board, on a t-shirt. Mamas don't want to keep burying their sons because of this, and they keep getting off. How is y'all getting off on killing people on camera though? Not behind the scenes, not none of that on camera though. Y'all is on camera getting away with this. That's what hurt me the most. That y'all got the evidence that y'all need, and y'all see what y'all see, but y'all still, they get away. How? It's not right, it's not okay. It's not okay. My generation, we need to do better as people and come together and put all that bull crap aside and stand for what's right. Black lives do matter at the end of the day. Period. We've been getting treated bad since we came over here. It's time for us to get treated like everybody else do. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I got sons and I got a daughter.
I as a mother of two older sons. My son, my 21-year-old, and his friend just got guns. 10 guns pulled on him last weekend by police by mistaken identity.
Racial profile.
And got his friend got thrown to the ground, and that's all because of the fact that a theater was broken into, and they thought that my sons, they were just walking through St. Anthony, Wow. And I'm not, and today my son is alive.
Amen.
By the grace of God.
The grace of God.
And I'm not sitting here burying my kid.
The grace of God.
And that's because of these police are standing behind their badges, being able to pull their guns on kids and being able, black men, period. I'm not burying my kid today. And I'm happy to say that my kid is alive. He's not on this poster board. I'm not having wearing a t-shirt. And we all, like she said, we all need to stand together in numbers, sit here and being able to stand behind other mothers. Everybody has a son, everybody has an uncle, everybody has a nephew.
Yeah.
We all need to stand together.
We do.
And be together in unity. It's sad that we have to go through this.
It's so sad.
It's sad that we have to stand behind a system that's backing this up.
It's so sad. It's so sad. It's heartbreaking.
It doesn't. Don't post this on Facebook and sit here and just say, oh, this is sad and this is. Come out here and voice it.
Period.
Come out here and show that you.
Facebook ain't gonna do
that.
nothing.
This is not. No.
Nothing.
You're right. Y'all are right.
Nothing.
This is what we want.
Don't just post it on there. Show out here and
Facebook ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
Facebook ain't gonna. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram.
Show out here that this.
None of that. You need to come outside. You need to come outside. It ain't always got to be violent. They always think that we want to be violent. If you gonna be violent, don't be by me, cause I'm on positive stuff.
Yeah.
This is positive.
I know that's right.
Black lives do matter at the end of
Everybody's
the day.
lives matter.
Everybody's lives matter, but they not getting it how we getting it. I refuse to have my sons go out like that. Period. I don't.
Especially
period.
my two older sons.
Period.
I have two older sons, and I value
It's
my
not
baby
right.
fire.
It's not right. Period. It's just not. It's so much more I want to say, but I got 3 kids, and I cannot be in Ramsey County Jail today. The Lord knows.
Appreciate y'all for talking, man.
No problem. I can talk all day. This is not right. Y'all sit up there and stand up for bull crap. Come stand outside for this.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
When it comes to justice for Philando, just for Philando's family, justice for the community, what does it look like to you?
The officer going to jail. The other officers going to jail. The officers actually speaking and saying, yes, I did whatever I did. An apology, for one, from the system would be lovely, but that ain't never gonna happen. But just going to jail, just like when we kill each other, what happened? We go to jail.
But then
we do
also
our
too,
time.
The fellow officers, but not all cops are bad.
Yeah,
cops,
look at it.
But then also standing up and saying,
look at it. Yeah, look at it.
But then
look
also the police officers that are not bad cops too, saying
all
that, okay, look,
all of that.
you know, standing up and with us too, as also, you know, there's all cops are not bad cops too. But then also the police officers that are not bad cops standing up and saying up against the ones that are bad too, and saying, hey, we got saying, hey, you know, to the ones that are bad, saying, look, to the ones that are bad, look, you all need to stop killing our fellow, you know, the ones that are out there bad. You know what I mean? Backing us up. They're all to the police officers that are not bad. Say something to the ones that are. Back us up. Do you know what I mean? Because all of them are not just. Y'all need to help you. The ones that are in your fellow. Do you know what I mean? The ones that, even though you don't have to stand behind them, you don't have to sit here and back up. Even though those are your fellow comrades, you need to say something about them. You need to say something about them, and you need to say, hey, this ain't right. You out of line, and you need to, hey, this ain't what we're about. Our badge is not what we're about. We're about community. We're about love, and we're about sitting here and raising youth. We're about raising youth. We're about sitting here trying to build together a community, and that's what our badge is not about. We're not about just going randomly sitting here shooting people 7 times, sitting here putting a brand on and making it worse for everybody. That's not what our badge is about. So that's all I'm saying.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I just saying for my 2 sons that I love them, And I'm just hoping for, praying for everybody that's out there that have young black men, to all the black men out there, period. Just protect yourselves. Protect yourselves and do everything that you can that's right. Stand up for what you know that is right. But just keep it peaceful and know that God is on your side. But just males, period, even you. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you know is best and just keep it strong. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you so much.
Can I just get a strong
Back
out here.
This you?
Yeah,
Hey, how you doing?
pretty good.
Hey, you want to talk? Yeah, I remember you. You want to talk at all? You don't have to. Okay.
Not too much.
Okay. Because I was looking again at some of the footage from the mansion. I remember seeing you there, as well as, you know, I know Erica, and I taught Erica back in the day. Yeah, so, man, I'm just trying to spread positive energy.
You know, it's always good for you guys to come out here and help and be out here to protest, because right is right, wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? So it's only right for us to be out here, because it just wasn't right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to talk at all?
Yeah, we can. Where we gotta go?
Let's go over here. So the mic isn't working right now, but we're standing here with King Demetrius Pendleton.
Yep.
And you were in trial every day, I believe, huh?
Just the first day I wasn't in trial, but after that I was in trial
Actually, let me
mostly
get you about right here.
the day, most of the days I was there for the last 3 days, if you will.
And so the last 3 days, that's a lot of trials. So all you basically missed was the jury selection and a few other things. The opening statements, the witnesses, the testimonies, and then the closing statements. What is your interpretation of what happened in the trial?
Well, during the second day, I wasn't there during the first day of the trial, but during the second day of the trial, once I was able to get in, it was very a tedious task, if you will. And what I mean by that, it was like everybody was hoping for the best, but then and again, some people was expecting the worst, because in the state of Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, no police officer has ever been convicted by wrongful killing an innocent black man, if you will, or anybody by that matter. We won't say anybody, we would just say a black man, because those are the people who are being affected and the ones who are being killed.
So, well, we got that. We have the defense that was arguing basically that Yanez has an implicit bias towards black men. Philando was implicitly accused of being a robber because of his wide-set nose and dreadlocks, and also he was slow to react from his marijuana use. Those are basically what I'm hearing the defense was basing their case on. What is your interpretation of that?
I think that is flapdoodle, meaning it's nonsense. For the simple fact, I can recall during the third day of this testimony trial, an individual was in the hallway, and I'm not for sure if he was clear or if he can take any video or what have they. He happened to be taking a picture or a video of Mr. Hernandez, and what wound up happening was he stated to the other peace officers, he told them that, hey, that big black guy with the black hat on is recording me, and they went and got his phone and what have they, and then they went from there. The judge was going to basically hold them and basically violating the rules, but they didn't do that. But how I know, because when I viewed the video and seen the video, it was very gut-wrenching. And what I mean by that, it was like, if you ever heard of Nina Simone singing Strange Fruit Swinging on the Tree, she sung it with her heart. And what I mean by when you see that video, and a nation is going to witness that video, and they're going to see that video, and they're going to make their own decisions. What I mean by that, when you see the video, the first second, if you will, they basically had like typings. Then after that, the audio came in. So during that second, I wonder what racist slurs that him and his partner was saying when they was pulling him over. As he get out the car, he starts indicating something about his tail light was out, if you will. Philando Castile, and along with his significant other, Diamond, stated that, okay, he asked for his driving license and insurance. He informed the peace officer that he is carrying and he have a license to carry. Right when he was reaching to unbuckle his seatbelt, Officer Yanez expeditiously meaning quick, fast, in a hurry, discharged his firearm 7 times, killing him, basically killing him. You can hear Philando Castile's voice saying, fuck, fuck. Basically, I wasn't reaching for it. And then you can hear Diamond Reynolds on the side indicating she was live streaming. This is where a lot of people are starting to live stream things. They start to record police as soon as they get pulled over because they are afraid of their life. We witnessed it with the Rodney King. We witnessed it with Trayvon Martin. We witnessed it with a whole lot of African American people, and we're not getting any justice. And this is just another spit in the face in Minnesota, not so nice, if you will.
When it comes to Minnesota, not so nice, what can Minnesota do right now? It seems that there's a lot of disparities when it comes to murder, as well as just random everyday living, jobs, employment, healthcare, education. What do you see? What kind of way out? What's a way out of this?
I would say a way out of this is stop targeting African American men. Not just African American men, just poor men in general. Mostly African American men, because I'm speaking from an African American man's standpoint. It's a site that called SAVE, S-A-V-E. It says there has been over 800,000 men charged under fake OFPs, order for protection. When you have an order for protection put against you, expeditiously what wind up happening, the man immediately has to get put out of the household. And these are fake OFPs, 800,000. Could you just imagine that? Men are being snatched out of the household like that. Not only that, it's traumatizing the children on the false accusation. Not only that, it has a man in a turmoil to where he loses his jobs. He's so discombobulated that it's nothing he can do in life. He just gives up. And then he turns to substance abuse. And next thing you know, he will catch a domestic. If not a domestic, he might even catch a body. So what I'm thinking about what Minnesota can do, or any state for that, or any town for that matter, when it's come to killing African American men, is to make sure that when you're hiring a police officer, they take some type of real course. And what I mean by real course is like be a human being. Don't just come out here and in the old days, our older people say, treat people the way you want to be treated. It's also rooted in the Bible. This is not what's happening. What I'm seeing and what I'm sensing off police officers, they are some of the biggest game throughout the United States of America. And this is not going to change. This is not going to stop. This has been going on since the 40s, the 60s, everything. They know that this person was guilty. They know the officer was guilty. We're trying to figure out what was the jewel smoking to sit up here and come up with not guilty on all 3 counts. What were they smoking?
All right, so what do you hope happens now? Basically, people are sort of gearing up to go to the Capitol at 7. There's going to be, last year there was occupation outside the governor's mansion for over 23 days, I believe. What do you think the reaction will be? What do you hope for the reaction, I guess?
What I'm hoping for with the reactions to be is for all the time that we always say to be a peaceful protest. I want to step outside the boundary and I want to say something a little different. I want it to be a protest that people can come together. And not only just come together for this 1 day, this 2 day, this 3 day, this 4 day. I want them to come together and change their life, do something different. Put boots on the ground, if you will. If we come together and we do activist work together and not Facebook lip bossing each other on Facebook and do something different, this will make a big difference. It will make a big impact. Black people to spend their money with black people, if you will. Build something in your community. Learn how to grow your food. Learn how to fish. Learn how to hunt. know about how to defend yourself on martial art tactics. These are things what we must know. We must have water in our house. We must have all this, because when it comes out, and when it come out, the race war, the new world order, people gonna know how to arm themselves. They're gonna know how to need to eat. They're gonna know how to eat healthy. If not, they're gonna be slaughtered. They slaughtered Philando Castile. This police did him wrong in all fashions, and not only that, they wanted the mom to just sit there and take it. No, I would have reacted the same way she reacted. She basically stated that this is some bullshit, and it was some bullshit. It was flapdoodle. These people laid up here and filibustered around with the case, if you will, procrastinated with the case, had people on eggshells and said, wait, we're going to make sure the verdict get read on a Friday. And that's exactly what they did. And I want to bring attention to a lot of Caucasian people that's walking around out here, and they're not our friends. We just confronted one guy who was at the Capitol, and he was like a skinhead guy, and he was walking around here. He gave one of the police officers thumbs up, like, yeah, that's what we got, another one in the bank, if you will. So I want people to pay attention. You have to pay attention to your surroundings, otherwise be a victim of certain circumstance. Minnesota has never been nice. I've never believed in Minnesota system, or any system for that matter. We're all in jail, but a lot of us just don't know it. And you know why we don't know it? Because we don't have the change on our wrist, but we have them on our mind.
Drops Mike, anything else you want to say? All right.
Solidarity. Thank you, bro. Solidarity, bro. We're about to meet up. Alright, I'm finna go to train.
What's up, man? What's up, bro? You want to talk it off?
That's the dude. That's the white supremacist right there.
Oh, sitting on the bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go down here.
Yeah. So, no, I don't think that is Demetrius.
Well,
yeah. Well, what's your? You can say your name if you want, or otherwise you can
Brian,
just. Okay. Yep.
Peaceful activist, organizer, St. Paul. One of the activists that was out at the governor's mansion for the day, sleeping outside. So we honestly know now that we got the verdict, something that we wasn't ready for and prepared for. We wanted the good to come out, think that Minnesota would do good, but no, they turned us down. They turned their backs on us once again. And the man that killed a man, murdered a man, Philando Castile, is now about to be able to go home and spend time with his family and do things that other people can't do when they murder somebody or do something wrong to another individual. This is not right. This is injustice. We need justice. It's not the end. This is the start. They don't want to do eye for eye. We don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. But if you have to turn the cheek and do things like that now for you guys to understand that it is not okay for you guys to kill us and lay us in the street and nothing's get done about it, it's not acceptable. And people are not going to keep tolerating it. And pretty soon, it's going to be an end of war. And that's just the honest to God truth. We might not want war, but this is what you guys are provoking to us. You want us to be mad. You want us to be angry. We're very emotional right now. We're stressed out. We're depressed. And all you guys do is sit back and worried about money and doing things farther than just getting justice for everybody. And he was an officer to protect and serve. What did he do? He put fear in people's heart. He's scaring people, and he gets out to be back on the street. How does that work? Where's the justice at? At the end of the day, we still got to go home. We still got to drive these streets with all these racist police and these people that don't care whatever happens to us by the end of the day. It's time for us to hold solidarity and come together and keep fighting this war, because that's what it is. This is war. I'm not saying we're going to provoke war and that's going to happen, but what if the foot was on the other hand? What if it was a white person that got killed by a black officer? Or just what ifs, instead of what just happened to that black male that died for no reason. And the officer needed to definitely do more training, because from my train of thought, he should have been behind a desk for a couple years before he was able to be a police officer. Because you have to train, and you go through these trainings to know when to shoot and when not to shoot. He obviously shot and wasn't prepared for the consequences, and think it was a okay shooting, and think it was okay for him to do that to that young man. Now that man's family have to sit here for the rest of their life, think about their kid, their brother, their uncle got murdered, and nothing got done about it. I'm out. I love you guys. Keep up with Unicorn Press. I love you guys, and I'm out. I'm just can't really speak too much. It's so emotional and so depressing right now. I'm out. All right, bro. Push your plug now. Keep it up, bro.
So you heard from another folks out here. What's up, man? I'm Nico. You are here for Philando stuff at all? Would you be down to talk about what happened? All right, word. So we're here joined. I'm gonna sit right next to you. We're here joined. You can say your name if you want. You don't have to. By another community member. What is your feeling on what's happened today?
Man, no surprise. Injustice system. You know, it seems like we're under attack out here. I mean, how many cases around the country just this year? There's been some felonious stuff going on with these police out here, man. How do we trust them? How do we look at them and say they can help us when they probably want to harm us? Does that make any sense? In the real world, it don't. But in this crazy U.S. that we have right now, I mean, look at our president. He's on Twitter more than me. But I don't know, man. I think it's sad, and you know, even not just for black folks, but for everybody. I mean, these cops got itchy trigger fingers out here. You know, they're shooting people with kids in the car and a girl in the car, all because they say he was high on some weed or something. Like, so he was too high to. No, I just don't get that part. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, and or what do they say? Mistaken identity because they thought they're robbery suspects or something. Like, so you found the reason or justified in your head that they were wrong some way, so you killed them for that? I mean, to me, that just sounds pretty sad. And on film? What do you need? I mean, you seen the emotion on this girl's face when it happened. She was being real, 100% honest. You know, but it's the justice system, man, and you know, I don't know if it's the jurors or it's these people that come in closed-minded or never been a part of that type of discrimination, but it's pretty sad that, you know, you got people out here in this world that just don't see it, like their eyes are closed around here. I mean, you know, our president putting travel bans out here on people to come in the country, you know? I mean, it's racism already in the gate. And it's sad. Now it's public, you know? And I can't say all cops are bad, but it's just, I don't know, man. It seems like it gives them more of a green light to keep on going with it. Like, they know they'll get away with it. I mean, I just don't know anywhere around the country where you get convicted for killing people or killing black guys, kids, you know, other minorities, some whites too, you know? I mean, but predominantly our neighborhood, we're victims, you know, we're targeted, you know, and it's sad. Like, we're not even safe in our own neighborhoods with the police. You know, ain't that why the riots happen out in LA and all that type of stuff? Like, are we not past that shit yet? No, we're not. And right here, I can tell you how emotional it is out in the atmosphere right now. Yeah. Gray skies, you know, it's clearing up. Philando, know it. Everybody gonna ride for you, homie. Believe that. Peace, y'all.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah, all good. All right, let's go.
This is one of my cars too.
What is that, like YouTube or something? You guys have?
Yeah, we got a YouTube channel. We also check out our website right there, unicornride.ninja.
Yeah. I'll look at the videos and shit over. I'll share it.
Yeah, do that.
All right, cool.
All right, so you know, you hear it. Energy is palpable. We have some folks up here that are actually basically staging a protest right on the corner with signs, chanting. There's been a lot of protests out here with Philando. We got here no power, no peace. Philando's life matters, no justice. We got other people with signs over there. We're gonna walk up to this middle island area. We're gonna stand here for a minute. So you see there's a lot of news out here, and we got the folks that are sort of turning up impromptu. Like, there was nobody who arranged or organized people to come out here on the internet at this time. These youngins just came out here themselves. If you want to catch up with this person, you hear a lot of fuck 12s, you hear a lot of fuck the police, you hear a lot of Philando. Somebody was just screaming Philando's name really loud and long while we were doing an interview. Again, the energy is palpable. You can feel it. The people are not cool with this. Again, if you want to know more about the uprising that happened after Philando was killed last year, go to unicornriot.ninja or just type in your Google Unicorn Riot and Philando Castile, and you'll see a lot of the posts that we did. People took over the freeway.
All lives matter. Be quiet. You're so mad. You're so angry. You're so angry. And I'm still, that's not going to make me go in the house.
So there was over hundreds arrested on the freeway. There's a lot of chemical munitions and other crowd control devices that were used against protesters, as well as press. They specifically, Joshua Legault, who created the special, or who's the head of the Special Operations Unit, which is now policing protests in layered responses, he specifically can be seen in our live stream last year on the freeway, as well as in the 1-minute video that we have of the munitions getting shot at us. He specifically threw 3, I believe, grenades at our feet, as well as sprayed us twice with pepper spray, and us being press, literally with press badges out. That is the commander of the Special Operations Unit that is operating to police the protests in a, quote, layered response. And so that's what's people are gonna be faced with that. This layered response is gonna happen later tonight, most likely, because people will probably be out. I'm not sure what the crowd will look like, but they will be out.
I think that
see the signs. Arrested for Philando and standing with Lewis Hunter. Lewis Hunter is Philando's cousin, who's facing a felony charge for being on the freeway. The only person who's facing a felony charge, and he happens to be Philando's cousin. They're giving him a felony charge. I can't remember the specifics of what it was, but basically they say that he threw a Molotov onto the freeway. He did get shot with marker rounds, and after he got shot with marker rounds, they found him the next day in his place. And so essentially, that's Lewis Hunter. That's that sign that you just saw. Philando Castile, his death means a lot to this community. He was 32. He worked with children at J.J. Hill Montessori School in St. Paul. And we're going to walk around the building while I talk. And he worked with children, and the children he worked with, he knew all of their names. He knew their food allergies. This is the courthouse. He knew their food allergies. He knew what they liked. He knew what they liked to do. He knew their names, like I said. He's just a very, very personable guy. The community loved him. And that was very evident at his vigil, which is, I think, the day after his death, I think July 7th or 8th. He was killed late July 6th. Community came out to the governor's mansion. They went straight to occupying that area. They also then went over and had a vigil at J.J. Montessori School, and that's where a lot of the staff that he worked with spoke. But here you see a police van. This is this is the entrance into their courthouse for the police, and this is a police van. Sometimes it looks like a transport van, but most of the time you'll see the black vans, and that'll have other police officers ready to go in a different unit. But that again looks like a transport van. It's got the cages in the back seat in the front. But back to Philando at his vigil, very, very, very emotional vigil. We live streamed it. You can check that out. I think it was July 8th last year. It was the day before. It was the day of the freeway take. No, I'm lying. It was the day before the freeway takeover. So. His mother spoke. A lot of the students, mothers and staff and other people that worked with him spoke about who he was as a person, who Philando was, and what his death meant to them. It was very, very, very emotional. People continued to take up space in front of the governor's mansion for over 23 days. A lot of things happened. A lot of people were arrested during that time. A lot of people are still fighting the charges. there's a lot of people who are arrested on the freeway that have all pled not guilty together, and they're fighting the charges together like that. They're not taking the plea deals, and that's going to provide a lot of trouble for the county to really charge them all and come up with a conviction on them all. And so essentially that's a fight that a lot of the protesters are taking up, and they're banding together in solidarity to fight charges. We might see some of that again if there is charges brought towards folks for protesting outside here, outside somewhere, anywhere here in St. Paul or Minneapolis in the next few days. There are different systems, as I said, as Ramsey County is St. Paul, Minneapolis is Hennepin County. Those are two different systems. Philando Castile lived in St. Paul. You see quite a few officers right there. There's probably about 6 of them inside there. They're all looking at me right now. I'm not sure if you can see the ones in the back. No, they're not looking, so that's good. So there's a lot of press out here and a lot of police out here. If you look in our Twitter earlier, there's police on horses. Those are mostly the blue shirts police officers, and then you got the brown shirts sheriff's office, sheriff's deputies working for Ramsey County. Those are also out here. Those people patrol this area, I believe, like the courthouse and jails, because it's county property, so therefore sheriffs have that. We are across the street from the Intercontinental Hotel. That is where a lot of the Castile family was staying, as well as Judge Hatchett, who is Castile's family, either attorney or I'm not sure the title. They will be bringing a civil suit against the city of St. Anthony is my belief, and Geronimo Yanez himself. I could be wrong, but there will be a civil suit. I just do not know exactly who. But that is usually the case, where it'll be the city that person worked for and the person individually. So when it comes to Philando, now we have a verdict, not guilty. John Choi, which his office is right down the street actually. Let's walk over there real quick. We'll walk you over to John Choi's office, because we'll bring you back to the scene in November, when in November they chose to charge Philando Castile. If you don't know about that, we were also live streaming during that day after the decision to indict Geronimo Yanez. And so we'll go down there and we'll just look at the office building and what it looks like, and bring you back a moment to November, because that is a pivotal time in history right now of Twin Cities, as well as police killings in general, being that this was actually an indictment against a police officer that happened when that had never happened, from my understanding, in the history of Minnesota, or since 1991 or something similar to that.
Catholic Church is all right. Beautiful. And I see that oh my God.
So, John Choi's office is right here. And this is a Ramsey County city attorney. You see a lot of police officers that are sort of standing out there. I'm at Ramsey County attorney. I don't know why I said city. And sort of this is where people heard about the no indictment. They were outside. Community members were inside here, sitting on the couches and stuff. I know you can't see the reflection, but this is basically the office, which is right across the street. And you see a couple officers in there. There's 2 sheriffs posted right there. There's more folks back there. And so essentially, this is the office that chose to indict Geronimo Yanez. That indictment was, we were here, we were live, and there's quite a few big officers right there. Wow. We were live when it came to that day. I think it was November 16th. We spoke to a few community members about their response to the chance of some kind of semblance of justice. And if you want to know what that was like, go back into unicornride.ninja and check out our November 16th post. I believe it was, I don't know what it was titled, but it was something about Philando Castile, John Choi, and indictment of Geronimo Yanez. So again, we're here in downtown St. Paul, and we have heard the verdict. The verdict stands not guilty. Geronimo Yanez murdered Philando Castile, 7 shots. If you don't know the full trial, what happened during the trial, please do yourself a favor and listen to a 50-minute interview that we did with Danny Givens Jr. 2 days ago. Very, very, very informative, as to his interpretation of the trial, as well as some other things. And it's just a lot went on in this trial. It was a very short trial. It was a lot of deliberation. The jury pool took a long, jury selection and deliberation seemed to take a lot longer than the specific trial itself, being opening statements, closing statements, and testimonies. My understanding, Yanez took the stand as well as his partner. Also, along with that, Diamond Reynolds took the stand, sort of set off the whole time, because it's the defense that, it's the prosecution that goes first. And so they called their witnesses up first, and Diamond Reynolds was one of those witnesses. And Diamond Reynolds, a lot of people said, just did a great testimony. And so that's sort of where we're at. We see right here, we're in the corner where there's random protests going on. People have just showed up and created a protest. And so, for more information on the trial, as I say, you can go into our last post. You could also keep listening, because I'll try to tell you what I know. There was a time when, in the trial, Geronimo Yanez specifically was on the stand talking about an incident that he had with another black male, in which he had to fire his gun. Danny Givens brought up yesterday, 2 days ago, that essentially that if you have these trauma-filled incidences, which was trauma-filled for Yanez, if you have these incidences, then essentially people need to have, don't get away from these trucks. If you have these instances with the police and other people of another race or another person, type of individual, of anything, religion, anything, that these differences have to be talked about, maybe in therapy, because once you have a heart rate of over a specific amount of beats per minute, then rationale goes out of the window. And this is all the words of Danny Givens, and basically was saying that because rationale then goes out of the window, the implicit biases take over. And the implicit bias that Yanez had and held because of past incidences with other folks of color made the decision for him to just shoot, as he felt very threatened. Whereas Danny Givens says that if Yanez had the opportunity to possibly go through some therapy, or if Yanez was from the community itself, that he would not have shot so quickly. That's what a lot of people say. So when we come to tonight, when we come to the policing here in St. Paul, when we come to the protesting here in St. Paul, everything is obviously, you can't expect anything. Within that unexpected realm, it's just like the jury. You can't expect an answer. Excuse me. You can't guess. You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people were thinking it would be guilty on some of the charges and not all. A lot of people, a lot of people had different thoughts. Nobody had the same. He's going to be not guilty all the way. It's like you don't really know, and because you can't tell and you don't really know, then it's also hard to judge how the protest will go. But one thing we do know is within the protest is that there is a specific special operations unit, and that special operations unit is going to be policing the protest. They're going to be headed by Joshua Legault. And if you want to know more about that, actually NPR, Minnesota Public Radio, did an interview with Joshua Legault about the special operations unit, I think 2 days ago on their live blog for this protest, for this trial. As you see brown shirts walking away, those are just sheriffs. They work out of this building, as the jail is in here, or close to here, as well as it looks like they're going to John Choi's office right now, the county attorney. So the special operations unit headed by Joshua Legault, again, listen to an interview on NPR if you would like. Joshua Legault specifically states that they are going to create a layered response. They're going to respond to protests based on emotional, verbal, or physical movements. So, like, if people start to get more energetic in their energy, and they start to speak louder, or they start to move quicker, then a specific response will start to be layered. So the first layer of the response will come out, and that first layer will specifically just be police on the ground. And now, from my understanding, the next layer will be for physical damage to property or physical threats or other such things. And with that in mind, after that comes a larger response and then a riot police response. And so when it comes to those reactions, we saw sort of the same thing at I-94 during the takeover I-94, where first there were state troopers, then there was police, and then the riot police came out. And once the riot police came out is when basically the crowd got a little more energetic. A lot of people on the other side of things might have disagreements about that, because the police say that they came out for a reason, but really the reason why was that people just weren't moving, and the police came out to move them. And when it comes to policing, this time around there was a protest here where the cover photo on a Unicorn Ride That Ninja, if you go to Unicorn Ride That Ninja and you go look at the cover photo, it says "Put Yanez in Jail" on the poster. And that poster, that sheet of paper, long poster, I don't know what sheet of paper, it's a banner, that picture was taken out in front of here, the Ramsey County Courthouse. And during that day, I do not remember when, but during that day I was here filming that protest. And what happened during that day was a very, very telling incident that could sort of tell how the police are going to continue to police these protests. What they did was, people marched around downtown. They were told not to take the streets, so people took the sidewalks. When people did about 3 laps, ended up in a park, probably kitty corner to this, I think. And at that park, people knew and saw that there was riot police following, saw the riot police were all around, but were not showing their hand. And so when people got to the courthouse, a small unit of people took the street. Because people took the street, the police responded with the next layer. And that next layer was a mass amount of riot police that kettled everybody on both sides. So they kettled people on this side of the block and on that side of the block, and brought everybody into this area right here. And we had that all into a video. And I'm not specifically sure what the title of that is called, but that happened this last year. And then once they kettled everybody with riot munitions and everybody, they didn't use crowd control munitions, but they pulled them out. They pulled out the riot squads. Once they kettled everybody, they called for 2 people by person, by name. So they called over the loudspeaker. This is Joshua Legault speaking. Literally said 2 people's names, and those 2 people were organizers within the governor's mansion uprising. So when they called their names, they told everybody to leave. This is after telling everybody to sit down, and they were under arrest. So they tell everybody to sit down under arrest. They call out those 2 names, and basically after that, they let everybody go, except for one of the people who got arrested right then on the street, basically beyond where that person in the blue shirt is. And so you see that bridge in the background too. That's going over the Mississippi River. Very beautiful over here. Very, very beautiful. But yeah, that's sort of what happened during some of the responses to Philando Castile's protests. That was literally a protest that was very peaceful. There was no violence. If you talk about their layered response and the reactions to certain situations, you could see how when they said people start getting louder or start chanting louder or being emotionally distraught or being physical, moving faster pace, then that next layer came out. And so their interpretations of those things are very seem to be minimalist. Like if there's a little bit of an uptick in a certain situation, then the next movement is moving for them with the next layer. And so that's sort of the scary thing when it comes to a lot of people's rights. That's what a lot of people are talking about when it comes to protesting, because then, you know, basically the St. Paul police say their special operations unit is to provide an avenue for people to have and exercise their First Amendment rights, yet their layered response specifically stops people from engaging in their First Amendment rights. So there you have it. That's the Special Operations Unit headed by Joshua Legault. They will be policing the actions from St. Paul in any kind of action, whether it's tonight or another night if it's a big protest. And that is the reality that people face here in St. Paul and Minneapolis. St. Paul, got mass amounts of surveillance equipment from the 2008 RNC, millions of dollars. They've been using it since. These small, these situations that continue to happen with uprisings and bigger marches, bigger gatherings, sort of drown out some of the small ones that then get policed super hard. And so it's very interesting to see the reactions and non-reactions from the police. So basically, we're going to take the stream down. I really, really appreciate you all joining. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We all appreciate you joining. If you go to unicornriot.ninja, go to support our work. That helps us a lot. We rely on you all. We're only out here for y'all. Like, I'm just basically out here volunteering my time. We're volunteer operated educational 501c3 media platform, and we're here to accentuate the voices from the front lines of social and environmental struggles. And this is one of those social struggles, the continuation of, here goes a few police officers, the continuation of basically state terror against oppressed folks, and the continuation of a society that's not giving a fuck about black folks. Excuse my language, but that is seemingly truth. That is what the community's calling out for. That's why they say Black Lives Matter. It's not a violent thing. It's like, yo, yes, there is cancer. Cancer sucks. Cancer fucking really sucks. But you don't say breast cancer matters just over that. That's what people are saying. That's what I heard yesterday from folks on the ground. Basically, they're saying, yes, all lives matter, but Black lives matter. We say that because right now we don't matter to the system. We don't matter, and we being black folks in the community. So anyways, unicornriot.ninja, check it out, check it out. We're going to be here for St. Paul. I'm going to be around. So I'm just going to bring the stream down for a second, and we're going to work on some things. And we're going to be out here and at the Capitol, and we'll be covering the ongoing protests that will happen. Right now, again, we have a no guilty verdict on Geronimo Yanez. We have folks that are outside of the courthouse, about 10 people that are protesting. Other people have left, and other people are getting ready for a 7 o'clock protest tonight at the Capitol. So that's where we're at. Again, if you have the ability to provide any support to Unicorn Riot, share our work. That's support. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Talk about us if you like us. That's support. That's showing support and spreading the word of us. As well as if you have $2 a month or any such thing, we have recurring monthly donations, and that helps us so much because it helps us budget out our future and what we can do. We have a enormously busy summer, and again, we rely on the support of you all to create what we create, and we appreciate you all. So again, thank you so much. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We're going down. We'll be out here. We'll be around. Continue to follow our work on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our website, unicornriot.ninja, as well as livestream.com. And so we will be out here. Again, stay tuned in for updates. Check out Twitter, and beyond that, check out us at specifically around 7:30 at the Minnesota State Capitol here in St. Paul. Community has voiced their disbelief, but also belief that the system continues to inhibit no justice for people of color and black folks in general. Philando Castile, his murder has become a flashpoint in the society that has shown continuity of basic repression and the police getting away with murder. So appreciate you all. Thanks again, and we'll be around. Continue to tune in. Unicornriot.ninja. Peace.